A lot of pundits speak about your situation in particular. Prime ain't did nothing different than what any other great father would do.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
When I came out, they tried to shun my father from a lot. There's award shows that I have yet to be back because my father was not able to kind of come.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a part of it, though. You got to understand the situation. You got to understand, like, you know, how this world is.
Yeah.
While the NFL was obsessing over the combine, Shedeur Sanders was quietly making moves on the other side of the world. And now, Deion Sanders just let the secret slip. Breaking news this afternoon, the Sanders family has reportedly locked in the biggest bag in sports history, straight out of the Chinese Basketball Association. The NFL is sweating. They can't stop a player from signing promotional deals overseas, and I've got the full legal breakdown of why Roger Goodell can't touch a single penny of this money. If you want to know how Shedeur beat the system again, hit that button. Let's get into the bylaws. Here's how Shedeur Sanders became the highest paid athlete in the world before throwing a single NFL pass.
144th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select Shedeur Sanders, quarterback, Colorado.
It all started with a post that had no caption, no explanation, and yet it said everything. Coach Prime dropped a photo of him and Shedeur, both wearing the kind of smiles that say they just hit the jackpot. But it wasn't the smiles that broke the internet. It was the emojis, a Chinese flag, and a basketball. Within seconds, the comment sections were on fire. People were asking if Shedeur was switching sports, leaving the country, or if the Sanders family had finally gone off the deep end. But as the dust settled, the truth started coming into focus, and it was way more calculated than anyone expected. This wasn't a distraction or some kind of joke. It was the first breadcrumb of a $175 million revolution that's got NFL front offices in a cold sweat. Because the numbers coming out of the Chinese Basketball Association are enough to make any NFL owner reach for the antacids.
These are real special right here, Dad. These are special because I'm not lost for words. I'm just thinking about my son and what he's going through. This is going to be his shoe because they're Lolo's, and it has his face on the bottom of them. See? But seeing your son with his own shoe and doing his own thing, that you have no idea how that makes me feel.
We're talking about a reported 5-year, $175 million fully guaranteed contract. To put that in perspective, most first-round NFL draft picks are out here praying they stay healthy long enough to even see a fraction of that kind of guaranteed money. In the NFL, one bad hit can cost you everything. But in China, Shedeur isn't just being paid to play ball. He's being paid to be a global icon. The deal reportedly includes a massive endorsement structure that could push his total earnings past $200 million. That's a level of financial security the traditional American path flat out cannot offer a rookie.
So YouTube family, we got yet a situation again that has occurred. So if you guys don't know, let me drop the banner for you right quick. Coach Prime, aka Deion Sanders, Coach Deion Sanders, that is, prime time. So they said Deion Sanders finally talked about Shedeur's $4.6 million contract with the Browns. And boy, did he tell y'all his feelings. He makes sense. He went off in only a way Deion Sanders.
Now, no matter how talented they are, most players never get there. But the question on everyone's mind was, why basketball? And that's where the story gets even more interesting. Most people only know Shedeur as the elite quarterback who carved up college defenses and made it look easy. They see the arm talent, the poise, the ice in his veins. What casual fans don't know is that Shedeur was an absolute problem on the basketball court too.
I respect my dad because we grew up in a big house, nice, like 25,000 square feet. Yeah, like something very big. Football field, everything you could ask for.
He got his own money.
Arcade, everything, basketball court, everything.
Yeah.
But then he moved us across town. Still a nice house, but it wasn't like that. It was nothing like that. But he moved us across town to understand, you know, just a humbling experience overall. just to understand to get that dog mentality. We didn't go to private schools our whole life. We went to charter schools that's barely funded.
Back in high school, he wasn't just playing basketball for fun. He was a legitimate Division I prospect. He had the vision of a point guard and the scoring instinct of a seasoned vet. He grew up in a household where competition was the only language spoken, sometimes being moved from a 25,000 square foot mansion to more humble surroundings just so he could develop that dog mentality Deion demanded. He's been training for this kind of versatility his entire life. And while the world had its eyes on his jersey number, he was in the gym quietly perfecting his jump shot. There's a real reason the Sanders family is making this pivot right now, and it's one the sports establishment really doesn't want to talk about.
They said Deion tagged the post with a simple caption, "Shedeur, proud father, I love my kids and I push my kids to be greater, to be better, to correct my wrongs and magnify my rights." Don't negate that part, y'all. He made sure to say to magnify my rights. My kids are built for whatever comes their way. We're prepared for whatever because I got them no matter what. Thank you, Jesus. Bro, that is beautiful, bro. To have your kids no matter what and be a staple and a force for your kids.
The NFL is a machine built to control young talent. Between rookie wage scales, franchise tags, and internal politics, players often spend years in the league before they ever see what they're actually worth on the open market. Deion Sanders understands this game better than anybody. He's lived it. He's watched how fast the league can turn on a player who dares to take control of his own story. By looking toward China, the Sanders family is bypassing the gatekeepers entirely. They're not asking for a seat at the table. They're building their own table in a market with over 1 billion potential customers. But a move this bold is never going to come without pushback. The moment a black athlete and his father decide to take control of their own narrative, the pundits come out with the same tired script.
But okay, let's pretend that's the case. We don't have fathers. But when we do have fathers, we still get scrutinized in front of the world. Oh, Deion is hands-on too much. But if it's Archie Manning, it's love. It's an American story that needs to be told. I just did a story about Todd Dodge and Riley Dodge, father and son, who was an American story from South Lake Carroll, Texas, how he got a job to be the head coach of North Texas University. He got no coaching experience besides high school. All of a sudden, he got the head coaching job, and America fell in love with it.
They call Deion overbearing, too involved. They say he's hurting his son's career. But notice how quiet those same critics are when it comes to the Manning family. When Archie Manning pulls strings for Eli or Peyton, it's called legacy building and smart business. When a black father does the exact same thing, it's labeled a distraction. The double standard is glaring, and it's something Deion has addressed with that signature primetime flair. He's not interested in playing by rules that were never designed to let him win. He's magnifying his rights and correcting the wrongs of the past, making sure his son doesn't have to bow down to a system that doesn't fully value what he brings to the table. And what happened next? It shocked even his loudest critics. The move to China isn't just about $175 million. It's about the 1.4 billion people who live there. Here in the United States, the sports market is saturated. In China, the appetite for American star power is still open and hungry. Shedeur Sanders isn't just joining a league, he's entering a stratosphere of fame that most NFL players couldn't even dream of. Signature shoes, his own media platforms, a level of global influence that goes way beyond sports. He's positioning himself as a worldwide brand, not unlike what his father did back in the 90s when Deion was suiting up for 2 professional sports simultaneously.
Shout out to Deion Sanders for supporting his kids like that, being in his kids' lives, but at the same time, coaching them the right way to deal with a lot of adversary things you got to get through, bro. You got to pick yourself up, man. You feel me? Chest out, chin up, man. That type of father leadership, it counts in the community, man.
The strategy here is 4D chess. If Shedeur dominates in China, he becomes the most marketable athlete on the planet. And if he ever decides to come back to the US, he'll walk back in with more leverage than any player in the history of professional football. Predictably, the traditionalists are already flooding the comment sections. They're saying Shedeur is running from competition, that he couldn't handle the pressure of the NFL, that he's taking the easy way out. But let's be real for a second. Is walking away from a guaranteed $175 million really running? Is packing up and moving to a foreign country to become the face of an entire league the soft road? It takes more guts to break the mold than it does to follow the crowd. These critics aren't upset because Shedeur is failing. They're upset because he's winning on his own terms, and that terrifies them. They don't want to live in a world where athletes figure out they don't need the traditional leagues to build iconic careers. This move isn't about fear, it's about power. As the sports world keeps spinning, one thing is becoming crystal clear. The Sanders family has changed the game. Love them or hate them, you have to respect the hustle. They've flipped the script to where the NFL is now the outside looking in. The league that thought it held all the cards is watching one of its biggest potential stars walk out the door for a better deal on his own terms. This is the new era of athlete empowerment, where the talent knows its value and refuses to settle for anything less. Shedeur Sanders is the pioneer, and Coach Prime is the architect of a movement that's only just getting started. So as we watch this historic transition play out, we've got to ask ourselves, are we watching a mistake unfold, or are we watching the future of sports? Is the $175 million just a paycheck, or is it the price of freedom? One thing is for sure, the sports world will never be the same. But what do you think? Is Shedeur making a genius business move, or is he walking away from a legendary NFL career for a bag of cash? Would you leave everything behind for $175 million, or is the dream of the NFL worth more than the money? Let us know in the comments below. If you agree with Shedeur Sanders' struggles, comment SS100 in the comments.